Hi guys, we're back with another color and chat. Oops. Okay, let's hop into the next available image. And I wanted to talk about we need to zoom in here. I wanted to talk about the couple of I wanted to talk about the animes that I've been watching recently. So I did finish To Your Eternity Season 2. I'm excited to start the next one, Season 3, because it looks like it's happening in more modern day, which I think I'm gonna enjoy a lot more. The first season was really good. It was new, This season, it was just more about getting to know the characters and Fushi's powers and stuff, which, was really interesting. I enjoyed getting to know more about him some more. But, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that time period. Just back in the day, medieval times and stuff. So I'd say that was the only part that was kind of lagging for myself. But like I said, I'm really amped up for Season 3. I want to see what's going to happen now that he is in the more world that we know today. How that's going to pan out. Can I? Okay. I really liked Echo, I think, as a character, and I really liked the whole drama between the, princess and finding out her, family stuff, how that one guy ended up being her brother. That was really wild. But yeah, I'm also, a fan of slice of life animes, though, so I did like the more of just the regular people drama, I suppose, over the knocker stuff. But yeah, like I said though, I'm really excited to see this next season and what they decide to do. That's all I really have to say about To Your Eternity. Gachiakuta. That's the next one I finished. That one was really good. I really loved all the action. I loved the, I don't know if I would call it, supernatural stuff, but, for lack of a better word, the supernatural stuff. And the comedy was actually pretty good. The comedy was actually making me kind of laugh at some points. And I don't normally watch a whole lot of comedy animes, but the ones I do, it's normally a hit or miss. Sometimes they make me laugh, and other times I just kind of think they're silly. But this one I really liked. There's a lot of meme moments, I suppose. During one of the episodes near the end when they rolled down the window and then they were all wearing sunglasses. That really cracked me up. Overall though, I really just think all the characters are really likable in this anime. I don't know, even the bad guys, quote unquote, because, I don't really feel like the bad guys are true bad guys, per se. They just have different ideals than our main characters do. But, we'll call them bad guys for sake of the argument, since they are going against our main group. But I just really love all the characters. They're all really well done. I feel like we get to know a lot of them really well. Jabber makes me freaking laugh. I really like Engine. He's a good leader. I think his name was Dude and Deer. I really liked their duo. I felt like it was cute. Rudo, of course, is a great main character. I love how he's like complex and is still learning his own powers and figuring out his own emotional like pursuit and where he stands and stuff like that. I am a bit worried for when he does complete his goal though, because like what is he gonna want to do after that? But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Amo, I think, is one of my favorites. I really liked how she kind of started off as like a bad guy per se, but then it turned out she just had a really crap life dealt to her, and she just kind of is a character filled with PTSD and is just trying to figure out how to live and how to go from there, you know? So I really liked how they were able to like get through to her and talk with her and all of that. Her episode was just really emotional. It was a lot. But it was really nicely done, I think. And I liked the like art style change, how they did kind of make it more cartoony, I guess, and childish for the like more traumatic parts. I just felt it really showed her mindset, her mentality a lot doing that, which you don't normally get a whole lot of when they cover stuff like that in anime, so I found it surprising, and I don't know, everything about her character I think was handled really, really nicely. And I like the whole concept of it, like the whole, like the spear and the on the ground and stuff like that. Like I want to know how that city is floating. I want to know more about the world, you know? And there's not many animes that make you want to like learn about the world and the environment, at least not for me. So like when I do find one or two that make me feel that way, I get really like excited about it. Depending on how long it takes the anime to come out, I might end up like freaking reading the manga too or something. But I mean, I'll cross that bridge when I get there, because I'm reading a crap ton of manga right now. I really liked the one guy that really likes Engine a lot. I can't remember his name to save my life right now, but he's like the one that's scared of getting like dirty and crap on him and stuff like that. I really like him a lot. I feel like the more we learn about him, like the more filled out he becomes as a character. It's really nice that all these characters are just like not flat 2D, like they feel like real people, you know? And I feel like that's just hard to come by sometimes. I really like that. Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I think that's all I really have to say about that anime. So if you really like character-driven things with some action and stuff, I'd say to really check it out. I know it was a popular one this past season or so when it was coming out. But yeah, in case you decided to skip out on it, I'd recommend really going back and giving it a shot. Okay. Okay, let's see. What's next? Mayonaka Punch. Okay, that was more, it had some emotional parts, but it was more of like a slice of life kind of comedy, easygoing, chill anime. It is a bit supernatural. It has, like, the main cast is vampires, so if you're not into that, you're not gonna like it, but I really enjoyed it. It's basically about this girl, can't freaking remember her name, but she makes, like, YouTube videos with her group of friends, and then she's kind of a bit, like, bossy and overbearing and things. You know, she runs a tight schedule, and her friends aren't really enjoying that, so she ends up getting kicked out of the group, and she ends up getting, like, a lot of hate online because of that. So she's trying to, like, figure out how to still be a content creator, but she has, like, major anxiety now about showing her face on the camera, since people tend to be mean to her right away. And she ends up running into this vampire, Liv, and Liv is obsessed with drinking her blood, you know, so they make a deal that she'll let Liv drink her blood if they get to, like, I think, like, 1 million subscribers or something like that. And then Liv takes her back to her mansion, where you get to meet a whole other cast of just really likable vampires. They're all girls, and, you know, they have the stereotypical anime personalities. You know, there's the little one who's really cute and joyful. You get more, and then there's one that's like a biker chick, and then you get another girl who's a bit, she's more depressed, quiet, introverted type of deal. And then you also have this other vampire who becomes more prevalent closer to the end of the series, but she is, like, I don't want to say, like, princess type, but kind of like princess type. She just, like, she's kind of, like, half in charge, so she just has, like, a way she likes to run things, and she sees herself as, like, kind of more above them. But as, like, you get to know her character too, it's not even that she truly feels above them. She just, like, she actually just kind of feels left out. She just really wants to be, like, Liv's friend and stuff, and she doesn't feel like she's ever gotten the time of day from her, and so her feelings are kind of hurt. So to cover that up, she decided, you know, she's acting like she doesn't need them and she's better than them kind of deal, you know, one of those situations. But all in all, they're all very, and they're likable. They're all likable characters. I don't really think I have anything mean or upsetting to say about any of them. But yeah, and then, like, the master vampire ends up finding out about them making YouTube videos, and she says, like, they're gonna tear down the mansion if they don't get, like, 1 million subscribers by, like, I think they have, like, a month or so to do it in. So they start really freaking, like, cranking out videos and making a brand for themselves and a name, and just trying to gain more subscribers and stuff. It's pretty cute and wholesome, and it's just kind of about, they're all overcoming their own like insecurities and things like that throughout the show. And Liv has some memories she needs to regain by the end of it. And then our main girl, they really want her to be on camera with them. So she has to work on overcoming her own insecurities about being on camera and stuff. And then you kind of learn more about how some people are just mean to be mean, like they're just trolls, but they don't actually hate her kind of deal. And I think that just kind of speaks a lot to how people are, like, in the real world, like in today's day and age, because a lot of people do like to just be mean to be mean for no reason, and I don't really understand it, but it's just kind of what happens. And it sucks because a lot of people can take that stuff to heart, and it really like impedes them in their life. And then the person who's like doing it and being mean, like they don't even actually mean it, they're just kind of spouting hate to spout it. And I think that's just kind of cruel. But yeah, I mean, overall though, it was a cute little, I'd consider it more of like a slice of life kind of deal. So if you do like slice of lives and just kind of want to get to know the characters and everything, I'd say give it a shot. It was enjoyable. I don't think there's gonna be like another season or anything of it. It was kind of like, I don't really see where they'd go from there, from how they ended it, but I think it all ended up coming together very nicely. You don't really end up having any loose strings or anything like that, because I know some animes that are a bit shorter, they'll leave like some plot holes open some of the time, but I'm pretty sure everything kind of got answered by the end of this one. Even things I forgot about, because I ended up, I binged, I was watching it, weekly, and then I took a break, and then I, binged the last bit of it. So, some of the stuff they went over, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. But I really liked it. It was cute. The ending got a bit more suspenseful, and then they kind of wrapped it up in just normal Mayonaka Punch fashion, not being super serious and just happy-go-lucky. Just a really nice time for everyone. Okay, let's get this next area. Okay, let's see. What else did I watch? Okay. I watched Pseudo Harem. That one was really cute. It's a little romance comedy type of deal. It's not your stereotypical harem romance though. But so basically it's these two characters, this girl Reen, and then I think the guy's name was AG, something like that. And they're both in the theater club at their high school. They want to be actors. And Reen is obviously pretty good actor kind of deal. And in order to like practice her acting skills, she kind of puts on like a harem for AG. And so she has like a bunch of different characters she embodies whenever they hang out. Sometimes she does it on her own. Most of the time it's prompted by him, you know, like what would Tsundere-chan say? What would Cool-chan say? So she kind of takes on all the stereotypes that you would normally see in a harem anime, and it's all just her playing them out. And it was really cute. I really liked it. And you know, of course, they end up like falling for each other. And something that stood out to me a lot was that near the end, he thought it would be important to only show like her actual personality, like a more important thing, basically. So he starts telling like the other personalities like, oh, we can't be together, like I'm only gonna be with Rain, type of deal. And then that kind of hurts her feelings, because she's like, you know, at this point in time, I've done all these characters and stuff for you that they're all a part of me, you know? These are all just different parts of me, of my own personality. They're just kind of split up into characters, so kind of like very, very like DID coded, I'd say. You know, and then it takes him a minute, but he does understand that. And then they're kind of able to maneuver around that and figure out what to do. And it was just really cute and wholesome, and he's a year above her. And normally, like, they end those animes off when, like, the older one graduates or whatever, but this one, they kept going for a little bit after that. So you actually get to see him in college and at a different school, and still, like, stay in contact with her, and them still, like, how they maneuver around him getting new friends and things like that. It's a really wholesome, sweet little romance. Like, it was so sweet that I, like, almost cried at the end of it. I really enjoyed that one. And I used to watch romances all the time, like, years ago, and then I kind of, like, stopped. But, so it was really nice getting back into it. It really gave me the same vibe that I used to get from romance animes. You know, like, I thought they were all really sweet. I was kind of jealous of them at some points. I was like, man, I just really like how they're handling this, and their chemistry is really cute, and they just are really well fitted together. You even get to see them in the future after they both are graduated. I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but oh my goodness, it's so freaking sweet. I would really recommend trying it out and sticking it through. It's not like your stereotypical, there's no characters that try to sabotage, no one's trying to get in the way, or anything like that. Like, everyone's really rooting for these two guys to be together, and it's just really, really cute. Okay, going off the same mindset of what was supposed to be wholesome, though, is I watched Days with My Stepsister. And I know a lot of you, just based off the title, are gonna be like, oh, well, go figure, kind of deal. But listen, okay, when I started it, it started off saying that it wasn't gonna be weird, and it was gonna be like a real showing of what, like, it really was like to be step siblings and stuff like that. And I believed them, okay? it was really wholesome and sweet at first, just these two characters, this guy and this girl. They actually went to the same school but never really interacted together, and now their parents are getting married, so they're having to live together now, and they were both only children before, so it's an adjustment. And they're both just kind of getting to know each other and figuring out how to maneuver this new relationship as brother and sister. Going from like strangers, and they both just really want to make their parents happy and be a nice little happy family and stuff. And that's basically what it is for a good hot minute. And then near the freaking end, all of a sudden you start getting inner monologues, and they freaking have like crushes on each other. And let me tell you what, I was so disappointed. I was like, you guys are really gonna sit here and ruin my wholesome anime and make it freaking weird. I'm not gonna tell you how it ends or anything like that, but let's just say I'm not happy with it. Yeah, I just really wanted it to be a good freaking time, and they soiled it. I don't really have much to say about it. There wasn't much like that stuck out character-wise about either one of them. They were both pretty like flat characters in my opinion. Both really introverted, kind of stuck to themselves. So like at the end of the day, I do just hope that they're more like confused and just need to work on their own emotions and stuff like that. But I don't know, because they kind of tried to like split off and get to know other people, and that apparently just didn't really work. And I don't know, I'm just really upset by it. But yeah, so if you want something that's gonna end up being weird, you can watch that one, I guess. But I was disappointed nonetheless. That's all I really have to say about that one. And then what else did I watch? Oh, and then here recently I've been binging Rozen Maiden. That's like an early 2000s anime. I watched it back when I was in high school, and I decided to give it a rewatch. I'm only going to talk about the first 2 seasons because that's all I've finished so far. But it's about this boy, June, who is, he's very introverted. He got kind of bullied, and I think he's in like middle school. And he decided to, like, he's not going to school anymore, basically. He's getting bullied. He doesn't want to go there. Gives him really bad anxiety. And he lives with his sister, who's, I think she's, like, in high school or something. She's older than him. And, she's kind of just taking care of him and letting him work at his own pace through his problems. And then all of a sudden one day he gets like note asking if he would wind the key or not. And he says yes, and that's kind of the start of this whole adventure. He he ends up getting Shinku, this ball-jointed doll, and she's a character, alright. I love all the dolls. But she's very like, you can be my butler and make me tea specifically heated to this many degrees and done like this, and you know, all of that junk. All the dolls though are very like, I think they're well-rounded characters. Like they start off a little flat, and then as you get to know them all, you realize like they all have their own hopes and dreams and insecurities and everything else. I really like it. But overall though, you end up learning that they were all originally made by this guy, this doll maker named Rozen. And they have to play what's called the Alice game. And basically that's when the dolls just fight. They all have like supernatural powers to an extent. Like Shinku can use like rose petals to fight with, and Suing Toe can use black feathers, and Suki, I think her name was, can use like her what's it called? Like a watering can kind of deal. They all have different things they can use. And the point of the Alice game is to like fight each other, and when you defeat another doll, you get to take their Rozen Mystica. And the Rozen Mystica is like their artificial soul, basically. It's how they're able to like be alive. And when you take that Rozen Mystica, you end up getting a bit stronger because of it. And so the point of the Alice game is to collect all the other dolls' Rozen Mysticas. There's, I think, like 7 of them. And once you collect all the other Rozen Mysticas, you can become what they call Alice, the like most perfect doll. And they say it's the only way they can be perfect to their father Rozen and get his like love, you know. So it really hits on a lot of emotional standpoints, such as like feeling like junk and feeling like you're not good enough to be like loved or cared for and things like that. And you get a lot of character development for all of them, June included, you know. And that's kind of like the main, like the plot point main for the anime is, you know, the Alice game and them fighting and stuff. But I really like the deeper level of it, of you just getting to know each of the dolls, and they each have to kind of pick a master, because they all need like a human, and the human is who they are gonna like, they use like the human's energy, basically, like their life force, to in order to like use their supernatural powers and stuff and make them strong enough to be able to fight the other dolls. So you have to have like a good relationship with your human and like that to kind of like go on. So I really like seeing how the dolls and the humans interact together, because you can tell like the humans really care about these dolls, and you know, there's all kinds of hidden messaging in it. It can be about like taking care of your things. It can be about like just putting love and effort into things and it paying off. But there's also a lot of like funny moments and you know, silly little adventures they end up going on. It's not all serious all the time. They really, I feel like, delicately really balance between getting to learn about the dolls and how they live and stuff, and getting you emotionally connected to all of them before they really start all their fighting. But they move the plot line along for the Alice fight really smoothly and nicely. I think it all kind of goes really well hand in hand together. I would say the first season is kind of more so you learning about the dolls and June and everything that's going on emotionally. And then second season really does a lot more focus on the Alice battle itself, which by that point though you are really connected to all of the dolls. So, you know, I'm sure you'll have your own favorite on who you want to win, or a couple favorites, or maybe you don't want them to fight, you know? And, you know, some of them don't want to fight, so you'll see how that plays out too if you decide to watch it. There's even some side drama about finding out who the doll maker is, you know, because June ends up running into a doll maker who he assumes to be Rozen, and he learns more about what all goes into making these ball jointed dolls and how there is a lot of just love and effort that gets put into each one. And that's kind of how you learn more about the seventh sister. And yeah, I don't want to like spoil this, so I don't really want to say much more. And then I don't want to get into the last season yet, because I haven't finished it. So I want to save that one for after I finish it. But Rozen Maiden is by far one of my favorite animes. I really love it. It really, like, especially watching it back when I did and watching it now, I really like seeing my own emotional growth and how I've felt differently throughout it versus what I did back in high school. I really like just, I don't know, man, like, it makes me cry sometimes. Like, I just really love this anime. Like, one of the dolls, she wasn't made completely, so she has parts missing from her, and she just deals with feeling like junk, and that's why she tries to fight really hard, because she just wants, you know, the doll maker to love her so badly, and she just wants to feel perfect and complete, and it's throughout that teaches one of the other dolls that, like, just because you're not completed doesn't mean you're junk, you know? Like, you're perfect how you are, kind of deal. So yeah, it just really hits on a lot of good emotional points, and I think it's just really good no matter what age you are to watch. It does start off a bit like cutesy and whatnot, so you might be a bit thrown off, but I promise it does get very emotional, and it really does start touching on deeper and harder topics. So I definitely recommend checking out Rozen Maiden. The first 2 seasons are its own complete story. The third season, which I'll get more into later, but it kind of like, it has its own storyline, so you don't necessarily have to watch it to get the full story, but I like the third season for its own reasons, which I'll talk about in the next little anime chat we do. So yeah, for now I'm like, this video is long enough. Let's just quickly get the rest of this picture done. And that's all the animes I've been able to complete here recently. Okay guys, and we finished the picture. I hope you enjoyed that little chatting about anime. I'll see you in the next anime and chat.